We are live. This is the market update. Solana summer. Are you ready? Yes, you are. And if you're not, you will be by the time I get done today. Solana versus Bitcoin. Solana versus Ethereum. Daily charts, weekly charts, monthly charts. Solana ETF, anyone? How about Solana meme coins for privacy, like antivirus? Asking anybody in New York City if they're interested in financial privacy. There's a coin on Solana. Are you going to the beach? Do you need a companion? Do you need something to read? How about hedge funds versus hackers? How about it? Introducing Digital Dominion. Hackers versus hedge funds. Want to know more? Don't go anywhere. Solana summer is here. We got the charts, the book for you to read at the beach, everything you need. If you need a roadmap in crypto, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live and help us reach our goal of getting 200 likes on the stream. Hit the button. Let's welcome who's here. We have Bull Runner first on the stream. Big Daddy Crypto, what's up? A member for 6 months. A member for 6 months. Our YouTube members, our Spartans, oh my God, hardcore. The night shift at the Amsterdam airport. Guy named Art. Welcome, sir. Machine Boobin, welcome. You know, by the way, they've changed everyone's name. So if I know your name, I don't know your name anymore because they're showing your YouTube handle instead of your name. All right. SWAT72, what's up? Alpha Video, Fuzz Crypto, TLA Lover, Sunday Morning, what's up? Lee J is here. A1 Rising, let's go. Dude, when alt season? No, dude. No, not alt season. When RWA season, okay? We have got our boys in Patreon Platinum. We even had a day trading plan for them that worked out okay in Solana. We'll go over that and give ourselves a grade. Watch how Mr. Market tried to shake us out. Want to know more? Don't go anywhere. For God's sakes, yes, I'm saying there is a chance, right? We did some GAN work. Again, for our Patreon Platinum folks, right, about the end of altcoin suppression. So there's been some GAN work. GAN work involves charts, planets, math, biblical passages. It's complicated. I built a model to try and simplify it. We identified some factors coming up in July. This lid that's been on top of altcoins. In other words, do you feel like an 800-pound gorilla has been sitting on your bags? Yeah, bro, you got company. You got company. Now, what happens if the 800-pound gorilla sits up, gets off of your bags, and takes a 6-week vacation? That means you got to make money while you can, which means you got to watch the show. You definitely got to watch this show. You got to get in Patreon for 6th Street Crypto and Patreon Platinum Research, which I will show you later. And don't forget the Solana Psychic in the YouTube member area. We did a bunch of altcoin picks on Friday, right on the air, right? Small caps, mid caps, large caps. Okay. Not eeny, meeny, miny, mo, folks. Some real serious stuff. We are going to cover everything you need today. And, of course, we're also going to set you up with beach reading. So we have business and pleasure, right? Chrono Mystica, a book with a blooming metaverse. Holy cow. Charlie Biello. Let's see. Do we have a favorable crypto environment? Let's do a little check. Let's check the breeze. Stocks, all-time highs. Home price, all-time highs. Bitcoin, all-time highs. Money supply, all-time highs. National sugar, all-time highs. CPI, a little hot. Fed expected to cut rates 3 times. And he wants to fire him. Now, of course, what they did not mention here is that because of AI and structural changes in the economy, the labor market is a problem, just the way inflation was 4 years ago. So this is Jerome behind the helicopter. Helicopter money was some jargon from the age of QE from Ben Bernanke. Helicopter money is here. So's the Solana ETF, by the way, and all the crypto sugar that the orange man can hand out because they need a win. They need a win. Okay. A lot of bullish Solana news out today, right? Solana Golden Cross is coming, right? Moving average is about to cross up. Wait until you see the Demrk work. Sometimes you can get in trouble with moving averages. Then again, sometimes when you actually get a high volume breakout with a moving average cross, okay, this is the 9 and 21 day, okay, media looking for something to write about. Okay, I'm down with that. I'm okay. Now, back to something very interesting for altcoins like Solana, because one does follow the other, even if it's weird. Do you guys remember Ray Dalio? What happens when countries go bankrupt? What happens when the bond market melts down? Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, individual investors just hoovering up bonds at high interest rates during the fear phase. Hedge funds, right? They get on the tape, they go on the CBS morning show, and they go, the sky is falling, and then they buy, which is why we have hackers versus hedge funds. A legitimate banger. Goldman Hedge Fund honcho reflects on one of the most consequential weeks of the year. Tony Pasquariello, my old boss, super smart guy. Loves to buy breakouts, loves to be bullish when it's down, loves to be bullish when it's up. That's where I learned it from. I swear to God, a banger of a week. Now, we've had a banger of a week in 2 stocks in crypto. Circle, Coinbase, and as of now, the biggest project in the 16-year history of crypto is the dollar on the blockchain. That's what it was Friday. And then I pulled up the Demrk chart of Solana, which I can't believe you wouldn't stick around the miss because it has twins. It has a monthly chart, a weekly chart. You're going to want to see it, okay? Please tell me who thinks Circle, Coinbase, and the digital dollar is all there is to cryptocurrency. There isn't going to be RWA. We're not going to be moving stocks like SpaceX on chain. It's already been announced. It's been announced. It hasn't been traded. It's over. The Ripple lawsuit's finally over. The crypto czar told you July was going to be a big month. Complete nothing burger. Nobody traded. They were having a banger week in equities. It was all equities. I'm like, well, what? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Crypto has been left by the side of the road until today. NASDAQ hits record while Bitcoin and gold remain under pressure, says a crypto news organization. Let me pick myself up off the floor. For God's sakes, people, for God's sakes. The entire decentralized universe is kaput. On the discount zone, untraded, deep in, no interest. I mean, we published our butts off, right? Patreon Platinum, 6th Street Crypto, right? I mean, this is the platinum area. Deep in AI, revised day trading forecast, nailed the low at 99. Matter of fact, while we're doing this, let's just check, because it wasn't perfect, but let's check a day trading plan. You know, everyone says you should have a plan. Let's check the day trading plan. So you're like, okay, Solana's up, Bill. That's nice. What do I do now? Let's talk about it. Okay, this was developed on the 23rd of June by our GAN model. Okay, so if we think about this, the revised range is 126 to 158. You want to get long if it reclaims 135, if it holds. Add on volume above 140. Take some profits at 155 and leave a moon bag for day traders. Okay. So how's that going? Like, how can you use that? Like, what can we do with that literally right now? Let's talk about Solana live TA. I know you guys like it when I mix TA in with news. So here's 135. Right? Is that 135? No, that's 140. So on the 23rd, okay, 135, the breakout was like right here. Right here. That was the 135 breakout. Naturally, they had to make you question it with that nasty candle. Then after you questioned yourself, but you didn't because you had the GAN plan, boom. Okay? It gets itself up to 140, right? So if you added on 140, I don't know that you had the good volume, but let's say that you did. Let's say you did. So you had 135, you had 140, and then what did they do to you? What do they always do to you? They had to give you a little check. They're like, can we just check to make sure you still like it? So we'll take it down to your average. 135, 140, and then we'll give you a little check. You still want to stay in? Yes? Okay, good. Because, and then on Saturday, of course, when you're at the beach or you're hanging out or you're trying to watch baseball or at Europe, you're trying to go to bed, what happens? Boom. Everybody goes, I think we should buy Solana. I think you should have done that yesterday. And we had our Patreon people in on the 23rd. Hello. Come join us. All right. So Solana surges 8% with CME futures volume hitting all-time high. Folks, this is how you know the ETF is coming, right? Legacy is just like, oh my God, we got to get long this. They are not long this. They are not, right? Kathy Wood and Novogratz talking about a Solana ETF like a year and a half ago, but they never got long. They never got long. They got to get long now. They got to buy the futures contract. They got to do XRP too. The denial about XRP is unbelievable. I was like, the court case is over. Okay, the court case is over. But Solana and XRP are going to join the stablecoin trade. Obviously, stablecoins are going to move on Solana. So are real-world assets. That's already been announced. XRP has a layer 1 and stablecoins. USDC runs on XRP Ledger. And everyone's talking about the court case, and no one's talking about stablecoins and how XRP and Solana, oh, by the way, and ETH. This is not complicated. It isn't, right? Volume precedes price, right? The volume is in all of these Solana and ETF problems. And everybody on Friday is like, well, there's no volume in crypto. Dude, there's volume in crypto. Yeah. Circle 10x from its IPO price. USDC. A CBDC. You want to talk about, let's say, junk 10x. 195 next. We'll go over what's next. Solana's been pressing a level for 11 months. And this is what I said Friday. And what is going to happen? What is going to happen when it breaks out? Well, I can tell you what's going to happen. It's going to be insane. It's going to be like 2024 all over again. Like the memes are already moving. BONK is up 10%. Boomer Solana meme coin. Right? And again, ask anybody in New York City if they need financial privacy. Just ask them. Hey, how you guys doing out there? They going into your bank account, you think? Maybe? And we even have Solana Beach reading for you. I mean, this is a one-stop shop. Solana will lead tokenization. Huh. Really? Solana will lead tokenization. Well, there's nothing like an 8% update for people to realize what was known but not traded. See, there's known but not traded, which is why you want to be in the YouTube member area. So Toby can just tell you, A, don't sell, B, buy these coins, and C, get in crypto because crypto will save you. Will save you from what? From the hedge funds that the hackers fight. That's what, right? Silicon Valley, Web 2, and assorted creeps. Is Solana primed for 180? You know what? They must watch the show. 180 is the mother of all levels in this whole market. It's the mother of all levels. Solana takes out 180. I'm going to pull up the chart and you're just going to be like, well, you know what? You probably can't stand the suspense. So I'll tell you right now what the deal is with Solana on this monthly chart, right? So here we are. Okay. So this was the Demrk breakdown from FTX. So these dotted lines are not drawn by me. They are drawn automatically by the system that makes these numbers, that helps me figure out where we are in a trend. I know it looks complicated, but the reason you watch the show is I break it down in English. So you don't have to read the textbook and learn Python. Okay. So this is 179.53. And how many times has Solana banged on 179.53? You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19. Okay. 18 months. 18 months banging, trying to get through 180. No dice. Look at these false breakouts. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's a retest. It's good. Oh, it's going up. It's confirmed. Boom. Oh, awful. Awful. Like if nobody ever wanted to play ever again after that price action, believe it or not, I would understand. Be like, bro, I FOMO'd in at 200 and then I puked it out at 130. Look at this check here, right? Little rubber glove action. Ouch. Terrible. That was on the tariff apocalypse. But what happens? I love doing this. What happens if you're going to look back one day and go, oh, yeah, remember when we were all wound up about whether Solana was at 150 or 130? Kind of like when everyone was wound up, is Bitcoin at 1,000 or is Bitcoin at 250? You remember that? What happens if this is the first leg up of a huge move and this is the second leg up? Because that's what the Demrk work says. And what happens if the third leg move is up there? What happens? You're going to be looking at yourself going, wow, on a nice summer day, Big Boy got live on a Saturday to tell me that if this thing takes out 180, this whole thing is just going to gap. Because remember, the GAN 800-pound gorilla that's been sitting on your bags is taking a 6-week vacation. He's taking a summer vacation so you can have a summer vacation with your Solana, your meme coins, your bags, your real world assets, your DeFi, and of course, your Patreon Platinum research. And when you're not doing that, for your kids, your wife, you know, for any readers in your life, you get the idea. This thing takes out 180. It's gone. Do I have more Solana charts? You bet I do. It's unbelievable. Institutions don't want to speculate. They want yield. So interest rates in Bitcoin, interest rates, right? Invest in mining, get a return. Interest rates are coming to crypto. That's what the whole idea about the digital dollar is. But what happens when other areas of crypto give you interest rates? You have an ETH staking yield. Everyone is clueless about ETH. I need a whole separate live stream to go over that. What happens if you can go on Solana or ETH or XRP and get interest on your crypto? And then you'd have something called the yield curve. Now, if you don't know what a yield curve is, it just means you have a wide range of interest rates. Like you have a car loan interest rate, you have a home mortgage rate, you have a credit card rate, you have a borrow money from your friend rate. As soon as cryptocurrency has interest, it really does become cryptocurrency. You got to have an interest rate for it to be currency. That's what's going to happen. That's what RWA means. Every single coin is basically a meme coin. Bitcoin, the dev disappears. Ethereum, the guy looks silly, right? Solana, the dev's not nice. Bitcoin is a meme for hard money. Ethereum is the financial system. Solana is the financial Formula One. Why is XRP up today? Well, because it's going to help in cross-border transaction. It's got a company with 1,000 people behind it. And it has a layer one, which could be, you could run a metaverse, wink, on Ripple. Company with 1,000 people all set up, waiting there. Circle was worth $63 billion at the high. Can only imagine what they're going to pay for XRP. They're going to pay for Ripple. They're going to pay 150 billion. And if they don't want to pay 150 billion, they're going to IPO it, and who knows where it goes. Right? It's that valuable. Silicon Valley is panicking about AI, about the metaverse, about crypto. They are behind. They are either behind or no one's winning. And they know that, like in technology, it's winner take all, right? Cell phones, Apple, Samsung. Computer operating system, Microsoft, Mac OS. Really, for business, it's Windows. Microsoft was the biggest company in the world 2 weeks ago, right? All these other companies like Nokia. Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember BlackBerry? Gone, right? Nobody wants to be the Nokia or the BlackBerry, so they're going to pay any price. They're going to pay any price. The higher it goes, and of course, you know, XRP wasn't attractive at 50 cents, but at $4, it'll be much more attractive, just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin at 250 will make so much sense for corporate investment. Trust me. Solana at 500. Oh God, I can't believe I'm not in. Wow. We got to get our securities running on Solana. 500. Yeah. We're going to sell our bags to Wall Street at much higher prices. Okay. So the most memeable guy in the history of politics says 100 million Americans will own Bitcoin. Actually, 100 million Americans are going to own Solana and ETH because it's going to make more sense to them. I've already seen the bid in Bitcoin Cash. The normies are already in. The normies are intimidated by the price of Bitcoin. And then these exchanges are these huge spreads on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is losing liquidity. Now, it's not that Bitcoin is not going up. It is. But people can look at Bitcoin and go, wait a minute. Solana is at 150. And what does Solana do? Oh, wow. Solana does all this. And there's memes. And it's a casino. And it's Wall Street. And oh, wow, you can run the whole financial system on ETH, and it's half of what it was at the high. Bitcoin Cash is moving because to normies, it looks like green Bitcoin. Orange Bitcoin, 100,000. Green Bitcoin, 500. Wow, cool. I can get a whole green Bitcoin. It's been happening for a week. Now, when Bitcoin Cash moons, the market goes down. I don't like that, but that could change. And Solana is a joke. Solana's like, oh, $150 for Solana. Let's go. Now, Solana's got a big market cap. I understand that. And they need to get their act together on the inflation. But again, you got an ETF sucking up all that supply. Wow. You got stable coins and maybe some speculative stuff running on Solana because college kids are in trouble, right? College kids are now stay-at-home sons and daughters. It's sad, right? They go to college. There's no job. They go home. And what are they going to do? They're going to pop their computer on. They're going to get a paper route or go work at go work at Burger King or wherever they're going to go work. Fiverr, Upwork, whatever. And where's their money going to go? Solana. Hopefully not Pump.fun, but on Solana. Moonpig's got a $4 million market cap. Did you know that? Antivirus got a $3 million market cap. Know anybody in New York City? Okay. I grew up in Jersey. Okay. Those people got a problem. They got a problem. And to me, it's kind of funny because, you know, I've read the Hackers versus Hedge Fund book twice. Pandering to his donors to promote his family business, Orange Man claimed Bitcoin takes the pressure off the dollar and it's good for the country. But selling dollars to buy Bitcoin puts added pressure on the dollar. Also wasting resources on Bitcoin, which is harmful to our country. Okay. So excellent engagement farming. I wish I could do that. I wish I could go on Twitter and be stupid and have everyone comment on my posts. Instead, I will tell you what he should be telling you, which is that a lower dollar is great for the economy. It makes U.S. goods abroad cheaper. It gets the world out of sitting in treasury bills like Warren Buffett and gets them out investing. Warren Buffett is sitting in 4% and 5% treasury bills. Literally, like billions. He owns 5% of the supply. You start moving the value of the dollar lower, he's going to be incentivized to get out of those treasury bills and start investing other places in the world. Now, how many good other places in the world are there? Well, there's Europe. That used to be good. And there's Japan. And they got some problems. So where are you going exactly? Oh, wait a minute. The entire cryptocurrency decentralized universe where we can go to get away from Skynet is at its discount zone, pushed out of a car and then run over. So it's a Dairy Queen cup thrown out of a car and then run over repeatedly on a highway at 80 miles an hour in Texas. That's the decentralized world. So dollar lower, good for Orange Man, good for U.S. business, good for crypto. Hence the move on Saturday when the obvious news on Friday and Thursday wasn't traded. So they waited for you to go to the beach and then they traded it, which is legitimately the history of crypto. And they're getting July 4th warmed up quick because that's what happens, right? Everyone's like, okay, I'll sell at 155, just like the day trading model, right? I'll take profits at 155. I'll leave a moon bag and go to the beach. Okay, well, that might be a good strategy. It's a good day trading strategy. But what happens if you take profits at 155 and then you wake up and it's at 200? You're at the beach. You're like, this is at 200? The only excuse for that is if you're reading Digital Dominion. Then it's okay to not look at your phone. Then you're like running off the beach. And you see running somebody in the sand. New Yorkers running on the sand to get in the car and drive to the office. So the hedge funds can have a little meeting on why they're not long enough, because they're not. And there's no seller in this market. Well, look at the charts. There's no seller. None. If they start buying this, which is why it's up on a weekend. Robinhood launches micro Bitcoin and XRP futures contracts. Again, Gen Z, people getting laid off from Intel, people getting laid off from Microsoft. What are they going to do? Go on YouTube? Hi, I have 2 followers. How you doing? I'm now a content creator. No, they're going to log on to Robinhood just like it's like cough, cold, and flu. You're stuck at home. You don't know what to do. What are you going to do? You're going to go to your phone, and there's going to be this big, fat green button that says buy. You know, for $4.99, we have a green button emoji. You'll love it. You'll love it. I mean, you just keep right on hitting it. So you need research. You need emojis. Take a shot. Ripple to drop the appeal. You know, what's really funny is I listened to Garlinghouse at Consensus in Austin, talk for an hour, didn't say one word about XRP. So I get on my phone, I'm like, what is this guy doing? He's not talking about XRP. What did he talk about? Stablecoins for an hour or however long he was on stage, 25 minutes, really, 25 minutes. Stablecoins. This is the big part of the stablecoin trade. But everyone in equities is too busy FOMOing into USDC. And everyone in crypto is like, my bags are down. I'm upset. I don't want to play anymore. When like the dawn of the golden age is here. It's not the golden age of hedge funds. It's the golden age of cyberpunks. That means us. And you got to share the screen. Coinbase sets U.S. perpetual style futures launch. I don't know if that means leverage, but again, these characters will take your chips off the table all day long, just like Vegas. You know what you're doing on trading? Obviously, it's great. You don't know what you're doing? There are plenty of places to go in the market. Don't give your money to these like centralized sharks. Fun fact, 10 years ago today, Bitcoin was at 250, and one has to wonder what happens if Pudgy Penguins gets in Walmart for the holidays. Or if someone starts taking crypto. Steak and Shake is making everybody look like a moron. Probably buying $30 hamburgers with Bitcoin and everyone's laughing. What happens if you're buying Pudgy Penguins with some form of digital cash at the holidays? Ruh-roh. Solana at 140. Really? Okay, bro. Okay. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? I hope it will be a golden age. A golden age. What does a golden age look like? Does anybody remember what 2021 looks like? No. Nobody remembers what 2021 looks like. Nobody, right? Absolutely nobody. Everyone has forgotten about it because, oh, it can happen. From Solana itself, the healing of the world starts by one person saying loudly, so the whole world can hear, an important true thing that he knows he's not supposed to say and that he knows will get him in trouble for saying it such. Such courage is contagious. Solana. Antivirus. So they bring John McAfee back from the dead with an AI agent, talking about privacy, talking about how, you know, sovereigns may or may not act in your interest. 3-letter agencies, bad guys, people doing what they want, not what they promised you. 3 million market cap. You don't like that? 4 million market cap for Solana, for Moonpig. That's Eagle King's favorite. You got to be kidding me. Look at this false breakdown. Look at this. Oh, God, get me out. 2.5 cents. Sell. What? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, this New York mayoral thing is very important because you know why? People can't get their basic necessities met. They can't. And Thomas Jefferson said something like this. Eventually, people vote for wealth redistribution, right? If all this money in an AI Fed printing Wall Street world funnels all up to the top and everybody left at the bottom is left shopping in a New York City owned grocery store to get healthy food, what do you think is going to happen to people who have money? What do you think is going to happen? I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. It's called a bail-in. Wait, Bill, is it a bailout? No. It's a bail-in where they go into your bank account and say, okay, we need to pay for grocery stores. People can't get their needs met. It's the will of the people. You don't have to like it, but perhaps you should think about it. Because again, it's a talking dead guy. It's a talking dead guy. Okay, charts. Oh my God. Do we have enough charts? I think we have enough charts. Okay. So obviously, Solana on its own could break out. Now watch this. This is monthly because we're at the end of the month, right? Solana versus ETH. Okay. So obviously, ETH has done nothing and Solana's done well up until lately. And this system is not particularly good at trend lines, but watch this. Watch this. Boom. Boom. Now, do you need to be an expert in technical analysis to know that this huge breakout in Solana came back down and retested this old high? And for the month, despite the rally today, Solana is unchanged. So undoubtedly, you're sitting out there going, well, I was long, then I sold, then I got bearish, then I got short, then I either quit or was too scared to buy it. You know, Tony Pasquariello from the beginning, my old boss at Goldman, the guy who is always bullish, buy it when it's down, buy it when it's up. Solana's not up for the month. Solana's unchanged. So is ETH. And it's sitting right on perfect support versus ETH. So if ETH goes up a lot, what is Solana going to do? So first of all, ETH's still down for the month. You have a 13 bottom, which is incredible. It's incredible, right? And you're like, what's a 13 bottom? Well, it means the trend's exhausted. And what you know, on Friday, screaming into this mic, there's the 13 bottom in Solana yesterday. Bada bing, bada boom. This confirms the 13 bottom. I mean, if this isn't confirmation, I don't know what confirmation is. Nobody home here till 177. Note how they were afraid of 177 last time they went up here. And of course, they had to check you, right? Here's your World War Z stop loss check. Boom. Oh, I know. Here it is. Ready? Solana versus Bitcoin. Here's your little 13 bottom in April of 2025. Whoop. Solana rally, altcoins. Remember the 800-pound gorilla that's been sitting on your bags? Right. Here's the 800-pound gorilla that's been sitting on your bags graphically. So Solana versus Bitcoin, like Bitcoin keeps going up. Solana does nothing. Solana versus Bitcoin, new low. Okay, it's back above support. Everything's fine. Right? Wrong. World War Z. But you get the 13 bottom. Then you get what traders call the reclaim above the support. And then Solana versus Bitcoin is off to the races, just like it was back over here. Can you believe how depressed this is? Holy. I mean, ETH versus Bitcoin is the same thing. I mean, I just wore out my welcome talking about the 13 bottom in this thing. Right? Look at this trend. Straight down. ETH versus Bitcoin. Back at the 2018 low. You know, when there was no killer app for ETH, that's what they were saying back then. We don't need Ethereum. We have Bitcoin. There's no killer app. Oh my God. Then it was DeFi. Then after DeFi, a year later, it was Bored Ape. It was insane. This is Ethereum versus Bitcoin, but there's no killer app. They just 10x'd a dorky stablecoin company. 10x. BlackRock bought 20% of the IPO at 30. It opened at 70 and went to 300. Let's have a laugh. No, that's Coinbase's stock. So I believe that, even though that's crazy because it's a leading indicator for the rest of the market. Here we go. Circle. Okay. So what we're saying is this is the only trade in crypto. This is what we were saying on Friday. So Circle raised money at 30. So Wall Street gave Circle all the money it needed at $30 a share, and then Wall Street distributed the stock. So it opened at 70. ARK, BlackRock bought the whole thing, and then it went to 300. And then ARK sold and bought Coinbase stock. And then Coinbase's stock mooned. Look at this. Is that an altcoin? No, that's a stock. 89-minute chart. Where is this market going? Every college graduate over the summer sitting in their freaking basement with that green button just. People think this can't happen. Oh, it can happen. And this says nothing about normies. Nothing about normies. It's like, oh, wow, look at this. Like, this is at the discount zone. BONK up 10%. What do you think is going to happen when normies rediscover cute dogs? Huge Demrk buy signal. Not Demrk. Lux Algo momentum buy signal in whiff. And it didn't chicken out when they corrected it. Because, of course, you know, they do the big buy signal. And then as with all quant systems, the Momo system buys on a 4, which is high conviction, and then they correct. They do the check to make sure that you still like it. They just check. They'll do a check today. Like they'll take Solana up 6%, and then I don't know. They'll have a booga booga headline about something. Everyone will freeze because it doesn't go up. It doesn't go straight up. Remember, it's gradually, then suddenly you're still getting dips. You're still getting dips. Look at the coin stocks like Robinhood. Same picture. Yes. Yes. Right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Bill, can you do some live TA on TIG, the innovation game? You know, every time in the YouTube member area when we do our podcast, Toby will pick out at least one gaming coin. Okay, so if I have this right, TIG sitting on the 200-day moving average. You got to watch out in this kind of stuff. You just got to watch out. Right? So we have the same game as last August. Dude, we can. I feel a lot less stressful. A lot of people think the same thing. Right? Big Rich is somewhere in the house. What's Big Rich been doing? By the way, if you join Patreon, you get a cool chat group. You get a cool chat group. You get to like interact with each other. It's, you know, we call them the Spartans. You should go check it out, right? You can talk to each other. You can talk to me. Right. And this GAN model stuff that we got going on in Platinum is just ferocious. Ferocious. Absolutely ferocious. Absolutely. Oh, blockchain Crusader in the house. Now we do day trade. We have some day trading stuff. We do. We're dabbling with the GAN model, but this guy has a Discord. So if you want to if you want to get hip deep, go check out blockchain Crusader. He's solid. And you know what? If you don't have any money, his TikTok is killer. It's killer. He's out of Miami. Seriously. There's a couple of guys like Blockchain Crusader, CVO, Richard Barry. These guys are all what's next. If you're an analyst and you're any good, you're bringing up Generation Next. Seriously. Now, of course, it's the opposite in YouTube, right? It's like, oh, let's keep everybody down. Let's keep it all for me. Like, I don't want to have Bill Noble on my show. Check out Blockchain Crusader. Let's go to real world assets. What do we got here? Well, first of all, before we do that, let me ask you something. This is DeFi. So the whole world's coming on chain. They're indiscriminately mooning stablecoin stocks. And this is DeFi, like your Chainlink, your Sythetix, your Aave. What's it doing? Nothing. Nothing. It's a DeFi futures contract tracked by a guy who is like long DeFi and never selling. It's unbelievable. Like, you know, we have this pick. We have this pick in the GAN universe. See what we got. What picks do we got? Yeah, you know, one thing that we have talked about, someone was like alt season. And Toby's like, you're not allowed to say alt season. I'm like, well, what about layer one season? What about it? You know, when these machines start making trading decisions, as one guy calls it, reasoning, what do you think the machines are going to do? What are they going to do? Well, they're going to go for Injective probably. Because, you know, no one wants this. At $35, it was an incredible buy, but at 10, I didn't want it. So I sold it and it went down to 960. You know, these things that have something called, I can't remember, MEV. Maybe that's what it's called. Some of these layer ones have something that keep large players from front running your orders. I'll have to look it up. By the way, did I mention that someone asked me what the World Liberty financial coins were? So there's SEI, which of course has nothing but go up because magically it became the stable coin of Wyoming, which is where Cynthia Loomis is from. Did you know Avalanche is on the books at World Liberty? Their C chain has security token functionality. It was built for this. No one cares. And no one cared about SEI either until it basically became the altcoin of, it basically became the altcoin of the month. Look at this thing. This is insane. And this is a good case of what's going to happen when all these coins start breaking resistance, right? All these coins are consolidating below resistance because the quant systems looked at World War Z and they were like, okay, this is a downtrend, but they got fooled because it's not a downtrend. It was a snap the gloves check. Let's do a little check on everybody. Discourage you. Meanwhile, SEI, boom, back to the 200-day moving average. Luxalgo puts the floor underneath it. Forget about it. This led the market. You know, this the first time, just so everyone's, you know, like everyone is like all about SUI, and I get that, right? But, you know, this was the first thing out of the gate last time. I mean, this was a Coinbase Hershey Kiss coin, and it went from 10 cents to $1. It went from 10 cents to 88 cents on a rope. Boom. Now you got to start asking yourself, like we have a couple of them in Patreon Platinum where we did a couple altcoins. I mean, they're new, but the thing is, if you get on the stuff that's new now, okay, Lion Group buying up Solana. None of this is going to stop. And like I said, you have small coins, like, okay, antivirus, my pet project. Okay. But what about other stuff? What about DPIN? What about, like, I don't know, what about Akash? We were looking at this yesterday. Just like take it. It's Coinbase, right? No one interested. Look at the distance. Look at the distance to the 200-day moving average on this thing. This is the thing, you know, there's a new phrase that I'm going to be using. It's called distance to resistance. Equilibrium, 35% away. 200-day moving average, 71% away. Nobody interested in DPIN. TAO, you know, was amazing, went straight up, and there's a lot of coins that did this. XRP did this. Let's go down to the 62% retracement. Exactly. Like, exactly. Who do you think was down there besides Big Rich and the Patreon Spartans? I don't know. How about every crypto hedge fund that actually wants to sit on the beach and not go running off, leaving their beach umbrella to get to the office because they're not long, because they're going to do something insane on the upside? QNT, XRP's little brother, up 7%, just got to equilibrium. This is the whole same thing. QNT, as I understand it, remember, was built for stablecoin plumbing through Latin America. Mudang. Meme coins, anyone? Didn't Vitalik buy Mudang? I think so. Getting the right symbols on these things is not my area of expertise. Here we go. I think this is Mudang. No, it's not. Okay, well, we will get Mudang up one more time. Okay, liquidity 5 million. This has got to be it. $147 million market cap. Amazing. And I bet if you look at the chart, it's destroyed and probably sitting on the 62% retracement of the whole rally. Doing a little reclaim. Like you thought it was doing a reclaim and then they had to check you and now it is doing a reclaim. Like all these meme coins, right? All the way up. And this is true with my favorite meme coin and your favorite meme coin too. So what Gann says is, if a market builds up the energy to make this kind of a move, even though there's a little, you know, mooning stuff that goes on with algos in these bigger coins sometimes. But if you build up the energy the first time, That energy doesn't go away. It still exists. So again, when you look at these things that are all down like this, that energy hasn't gone anywhere. It's waiting to be unleashed. Big Daddy Crypto got himself some deep. You know, nobody thinks that any of this stuff can come back until it starts to reclaim like the equilibrium zone. Like again, stuff is not even at balance yet. Pick a coin. I'm serious. Pick a coin. We'll give you coins. You can pick a coin. Toby will give you a coin. Toby will give you more than one. You know, we got coins in, you know, GAN Platinum. We have AI, DeFi. We have the whole thing. The whole thing. Expand your imagination. Expand your imagination. Digital Dominion, right? You can read the first 4 chapters online. So if you got no money and you want to do hackers versus hedge funds and maybe learn something about crypto and AI and where these characters who are on top of the world, how far they can take things. $9 for the ebook, $25 for a special first edition hardcover. Now, here's a question. Why am I selling that so hard? Well, because it was written by Ace Toby Ward, who has like 190 IQ. But if you don't know anything about crypto or you don't know where the world's going, like if you think stuff's weird now, took 4 hero hackers to take down that hedge fund in that book. Now, what happens if it's not just the hero hedge funds with artificial general or super intelligence, but it's like 6 Silicon Valley players? Or the mayor of New York City with one of those artificial general intelligence devices kind of on his desk. You know, if people want free food, they'll vote for a guy with free food, and then they'll press a button. Now, is that dark? Well, maybe. But how about you have fun, right? Mudang, antivirus, digital dominion. Let's have fun with it. Stop thinking about all the things that are wrong with the world. Start thinking about what's right with the world. Like Solana up 5% on a Saturday. Ding, 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 ding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your viewership. Please hit the like button on the way out. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and welcome to Solana Summer. We'll see you next time.